Welcome into KSU Nation, the best K-State and Big 12 podcast out there. I'm Stevie B, and we're going to be talking about Jerome Tang and K-State's conundrum. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, tell your friends, consider joining the channel. So, K-State basketball is on the verge of being terrible for the third consecutive season. We're missing a tournament for the third consecutive season. Definitely being terrible for the second consecutive and looking like a awful team for the sixth time in the last 7 years. Now, granted, 3 of those years was under Bruce Weber, the former head coach, who also won a pair of Big 12 championships. While Jerome Tang, this is his 4th year. He went to the Elite Eight in his first year, went 23-9. This year, things are not looking so good. Things are not looking so good. Actually, sorry, he went 26-10 his first year, 23-9 going into the NCAA tournament. So I'm here to talk about whether K-State should fire Jerome Tang or not. Now, and I'm not here to say what people should do with their money, because that's not what I'm about. I'm about the product on the court. I'm about the product on the field as it pertains to K-State, my alma mater times 2, my hometown team, the university that both my wife and I went to. Had a lot of great years together at. I mean, when I was a student, we had Frank Martin. We missed only one NCAA tournament my entire time there. It was phenomenal. And so it's kind of frustrating as a K-State fan, as a K-State grad, to see what we are seeing on the court right now. And if you look at K-State, like what K-State's paying Jerome Tang is making $3.6 million for this season. That is more money than I think most of us will probably make. I would say the average American would probably make in the next 30 years. The average American. I'm not saying all, but I would say the average American, now granted inflation and all that, we'll say 25 to 30 years. He's making more just in this season than most Americans, average American, will make in the next 25 to 30 years combined. And now if K-State were to fire him, which by the way, he gets a $200,000 bonus, retention bonus every single year as he stays at K-State. Now, I've looked at the buyout for Jerome Tang, because that's essentially what it comes down to. Because I mean, if you talk to any like sane person, you look at the results and on court success or lack of it. I think most people would say, yeah, Jerome Tang needs to go. Like, you fired the previous coach for being bad 3 seasons in a row. And K-State's again on the verge of being terrible for the 3rd straight season. But the problem is that Gene Taylor gave Jerome Tang everything he wanted and more when it comes to a buyout. And I've looked at it a couple different ways. I think I finally figured out. I thought it was around $3 million less. Turns out, and this has been done, I've looked at it a couple different times, and most recently by Kellis Robinette. K-State would owe Jerome Tang, if they fired him anytime between now and April 30th, which would be like likely if you're going to fire him this season, because most of the time you would not fire him in May or after, because that's a pretty late start to try to get a new coach and a new team together for the next season. That's a crazy late start. But if K-State were to fire him right now through April 30th, they would owe him $18,675,000. Now, that's a ton of money. And I think that's the biggest hurdle when it comes to K-State. Because that's what, like that's the cost of a football roster for K-State, and all the other Power 4 teams is what, $20 million. That's essentially what you'd be paying him to not coach at K-State. And I don't know if it's worth it. I really don't. That number decreases to $15.75 million through the same time period for the next year, and then to $12.75 million. I mean, regardless, it's bad. It's really, really, really bad. Now, I have no inside sources. I don't. Like, this is just me thinking out loud. I don't see how K-State can look at that buyout and think they can pay it. Unless there's someone out there that's got millions of dollars that they're just sitting on, they don't care about. I don't see any way K-State can fire him with that buyout. Now, if there's someone with that money, I would say put that money in football. Put that money in football. I'd be fine with being terrible for the next year or two in basketball if K-State were able to win, a Big 12 title, maybe go to the Final Four of the national championship in football. I'd be okay with that. But that's a ton of money, guys. That is a ton of money. Um, I'm hopeful that he is so bad and he realizes, man, like I'm not wanted here anymore. Maybe I should go find another job. That's what I'm hopeful for. I don't think it's going to happen because, I mean, there's a video of him talking about like coaches are hired to be fired. And so, like, I think he knows that he's going to get a big payday, which at 18 million, I mean, you're saving 3.5 million by waiting another year, but I mean, that's what you'd be paying him next year anyways. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, at that point, you'd rather wait 2 years, in my opinion. But again, it drops another 3.5 million, which is exactly what you'd be paying him again. Right. So I don't know what K-State needs to do really in terms of money or how they would get the money, because it sounds like, money is kind of tough right now everywhere across college sports. And, I don't want to hear that Jerome Tang has a family to feed and a family to take care of. Like I said, he's already making more money this season and every season before, more money than most of us or all of us. Maybe not all of us, but like 95% of us are going to make in the next 25 to 30 years. So I don't want to hear that. And I know he has a family and no one wants to talk anything negative about him. I will say he's a good dude, great guy. But I mean, nice guys don't win basketball games. Like, I don't care if you're a terrible person as long as you are winning. Winning is the only thing that matters. Now, in year number 1, he went 26-10, went to the Elite Eight, beat KU, talked about how, expect to win. Since then, he went to the NIT and no NCAA tournament last year, and it's looking like no NCAA tournament again this year. In year number 2, K-State was 14-4 following a home win against Oklahoma State. 4-1 in the Big 12. K-State finished 19-15, meaning they went 5-11 the remainder of the season, including losing 7 out of 8 games. Now, the one game they won, I'm glad they won. It was an overtime home game against KU. I'm glad they won that. Had they not won that, they would have lost 8 straight. But still, like, ever since then, I mean, 19-15. Last year they went 16-17, a losing record. Right now they're 9-9. They're 0-5 in the Big 12, the worst since like the 98 season or something like that. I mean, is there time for Jerome Tang and K-State to turn around? Sure, there is time. Of course, there's 2 different ways still that K-State can get to the NCAA tournament. Like, and one way is significantly harder than the other, and that way is winning a bunch of more Big 12 games to get you on the bubble, to get you in. But when you start 0-5 and you're 9-9 overall, I mean, that ladder you need to climb is pretty tall. That's a pretty tall ladder you need to climb to get back in it. The easier way would be to win the Big 12 tournament, which K-State has not won a conference tournament since 1980. So it's been 46 years since K-State's done that. So neither one look very likely right now. He is 28-33 in Big 12 play in his 4 years at K-State. He is 70-51 overall. Oh, it is not good, man. It is not good. And again, I'm not here to say what anyone should be doing with their money, whether they should or should not fire him, because there's several factors to look at: the money, the on-court stuff, the person, the roster, all of that. But what I will say is, if you're looking at him in terms of coaching, I mean, he brought in a bunch of really good players from different places and they paid him a lot of money to come here. And it looks like almost every one of those players has gotten worse. And every single year, it feels like there's at least 1 or 2 guys that are in a doghouse. And this year it's what, Moby and Kostic and someone else. Like, I don't know what's going. Elias Rapiak. Like, I don't get it. I don't know if they're coming late to meetings. Like, I don't know. Maybe he's like, you know what? These are the rules. You need to follow them. If you don't follow them, you're not going to play. And I get that. I totally get that. But also, same time, winning, like I said, winning is the only thing that matters, especially at the college level when you're pouring this amount of money into the sport. I mean, I don't know what Bramlage is going to look like this week when they play Utah, but it's not going to be good, guys. It's not going to be good. And they're 9-9 right now. I'm going to pull up their schedule, the remaining schedule, and we're going to talk about what we think they're going to finish. Because regardless, we only, at the most, guys, have 8 more weeks to watch this crap. Only 8 more weeks to watch this crap, because after that, the pain is over until at least November. At least until November. Okay. K-State's 0-5 in the Big 12. This is the remaining schedule. Utah at home. If you're going to win, you have to win that. I mean, K-State is the only team without a Big 12 win. This is a team right above them at 15. If you're going to win, you got to win that game. Tomorrow night, Tuesday at 8 o'clock. At home against KU, that's a loss. At West Virginia, that's a loss. Iowa State, loss. At TCU, loss. Maybe you get Cincinnati at home. We'll count that as a win. 2 wins. Houston, loss. Baylor, loss. Texas Tech, Colorado, loss. Maybe TCU at home. Maybe. We'll say K-State wins that one. West Virginia at home. Maybe. At KU, no. So we're probably looking at 3-15, 4-14, best case scenario. Best case scenario. I mean, at that point, you're what? 13 and what are they? They're 0-5, and then they'd be 0-5, and then they'd be, yeah. I mean, you're at 13 wins and probably like 23 losses or something like, or 20 losses or something like that. So it's not good. It's not good. So I don't know what to make of Jerome Tang. I don't know why his players keep getting worse. I don't know why the team, it feels like they're finding new ways to lose games. I mean, you lose on the last play of the game at Oklahoma State because your guy fouls a guy. When you're up 2, he shoots a 3, makes all 3 free throws. Your team does not get up at all for home game against UCF. I mean, that's a game you have to win, guys. These last 3, those are games you have to win. Late game, I mean, K-State has no winning identity. No winning identity. All 3 of these games are games K-State should have won. If you win those 3 and you don't lose on the last play of the game to Nebraska, you win that game as well. I mean, shoot, those 4 games, had K-State won just those 4 games, even losing the Bowling Green in there, had K-State won just those 4 games, I mean, we'd be completely different right now. I mean, K-State would be what, 13-5? I mean, that's a completely different scenario. What is the net rankings right now? I'm about to tell you guys. It's not good. I know that. And K-State actually has a couple of they're 84th. 84th. It's not good. So 0-5. Let's say K-State goes 4-14. I mean, you're looking at missing the NCAA tournament again for the 3rd consecutive season. I don't know if K-State has the money to fire him. I'm assuming not. I'm assuming he will get at least 1 more year, and if not 1 more after that, because of the buyout. But things have to get better, guys. They have to get better, because right now, every single season, it's gotten worse, and worse. And I don't know why that is. I mean, he's changed assistants. He's changed players. I don't know what it is. I don't know if his coaching has just gotten worse. The other teams have gotten better. But it really feels like it really comes down to effort, because like if you look at like Taj Manning, one of the worst players on the team, like in terms of talent, dude scoring, grabbing rebounds because he cares. He is trying his absolute hardest because he knows there are other talented guys that could be on the floor instead of him. And he knows the only thing he really brings is toughness and effort. And he's been given it every single night, and other guys are not. Also feels like K-State's really lacking a lot of mental stability. I mean, you cannot be turning it over the amount of times K-State's turning it over. Like, I don't know what their turnovers were against Oklahoma State. I think it was like 13. Let me take a look really quick. But I mean, K-State's been terrible at turning it over ever since Jerome Tang got here. Total turnovers, 16. 16 turnovers to only 7 for Oklahoma State. K-State shot 50%, made 15 threes, out-rebounded Oklahoma State, and lost. So you shot a better percentage, made more threes, had more rebounds, and lost. That comes down to coaching, man. And that's what K-State is paying him $3.5+ million to do, is to coach and win games, and he's not doing it. maybe K-State finds some guy that's got $18 million to, get rid of him. But then again, you got to pay the next group of guys X amount of money to get him here. And it's definitely a conundrum. It is definitely a conundrum because it's like, what matters more, winning or money? Like both matters a lot. And then fan support matters a lot. Like Saturday, after K-State plays at home against KU on Saturday, there will not be another sellout the rest of the season. Unless K-State, figures it out somehow, some way, and starts winning a bunch of games, which again, I don't feel like is probably going to happen. They miss their chances against, like I talked about earlier, against Nebraska, against Arizona State, UCF, and Oklahoma State. I mean, you win those 4 games, you're looking completely different. So K-State will probably be 13-19 or so, roughly around there, going into Big 12 conference tournament. I still feel like the easiest thing to do, the easier of the two things to make the NCAA tournament would be to win that conference tournament, which again, they've not done in 46 years. But I don't know. They have a conundrum. Should they fire him based off of on-court results, not accounting for money? Absolutely. If K-State does not make the tournament. But when you take all of that into account, I mean, I think you're looking at Jerome Tang coaching here for another year or two. And the crowds have not been good. They're only going to get worse. They are only going to get worse. The amount of good players you're going to get are only going to get worse. And maybe that's what K-State needs. Maybe K-State needs more guys that really want to be here and really don't care as much about the money. And I don't want to say that like money is mattering a lot to the players, as it feels like everyone's been saying, oh, well, all these players, all they care about is the money, and that's why they're not trying. Well, everyone else at every other university is going through the same thing. Why are they winning, and why is K-State not? Like, I don't get it. Everyone plays by the same rules. Everyone's paying their players. How come other universities are winning and K-State's not? Like, that I do not understand. And that comes down to coaching to me. It really does. So let me know in the comments if you guys think Jerome Tang should be fired or not, or what K-State should do considering that buyout being $18.657 million, $15.75 million for next year, and $12.75 million for the year after that. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm CVB. This is KSU Nation. There's just 2 last things to say. Go Big 12 and go Cats.